Somewhere around retirement, a car decision that used to be simple, just buy whatever your gut likes, starts to feel a lot heavier. You're living on a fixed income now, every dollar has a job to do, and suddenly you've got three completely different paths in front of you. The familiar gas engine, the middle ground hybrid, and the fully electric option everyone keeps talking about. Each one has passionate defenders, and each one has real trade-offs that rarely get explained honestly in the same place. So, let's walk through all three side by side using real numbers and figure out which one actually protects your retirement budget best. Let's start with the gas-powered vehicle, since it's the option most of us already understand in our bones. A reliable gas sedan or crossover typically costs somewhere between $26,000 and $34,000 new, which remains the lowest upfront price of the three. Fuel costs, though, are where gas vehicles lose ground steadily over time. Driving a typical 9,000 miles a year at around 30 miles per gallon with gas prices hovering near $3.30 a gallon in much of the country lands you close to $1,000 a year in fuel alone. Maintenance adds another $600 to $900 annually, once you account for oil changes, filters, brake work, and the occasional bigger repair. As the vehicle ages past the 70 or 80,000 mile mark, over a 10-year retirement stretch, a gas vehicle's total cost, including fuel and maintenance, often lands somewhere between $50,000 and $58,000 all in. Now, the hybrid, which quietly does something clever. It uses a small electric motor and battery to assist the gas engine, recapturing energy during braking and taking over entirely at low speeds without ever needing to be plugged in. A comparable hybrid sedan or crossover usually costs about $2,500 to $4,000 more than its gas-only twin, landing somewhere around $29,000 to $37,000 new. But the fuel savings are immediate and real. Where the gas vehicle gets around 30 miles per gallon, a hybrid version of the same vehicle often gets 45 to 55 miles per gallon, sometimes more in city driving where hybrids shine brightest. That can cut annual fuel costs nearly in half, down to around $500 to $600 a year for a typical retiree's mileage. Hybrid maintenance sits in an interesting middle zone. You still have a gas engine with oil changes, spark plugs, and the usual wear items, but brake wear tends to be lower thanks to regenerative braking, similar to what you'd see on an EV. Most owners report maintenance costs close to what a gas vehicle costs, maybe slightly less, so figure $500 to $800 a year. The hybrid battery itself, which is much smaller than an EV battery, is generally engineered to last the life of the vehicle and is typically covered by an 8-year or 100,000-mile warranty, and outright hybrid battery failures remain relatively uncommon within that window. Over 10 years, a hybrid's total cost, including the higher purchase price, typically lands somewhere between $44,000 and $51,000, meaningfully less than the gas vehicle despite costing more upfront. Then there's the fully electric option, which we've broken down in detail in another video, but the short version bears repeating here for a fair three-way comparison. A new EV often costs $40,000 to $55,000 before incentives, though a federal tax credit of up to $7,500 plus possible state incentives can bring that effective price down substantially for buyers who qualify. Home-charged electricity costs run around $400 to $600 a year for typical retiree mileage, similar to or slightly less than a hybrid's fuel costs. And maintenance is the lowest of the three, often under $200 a year excluding tires, since there's no engine, no transmission, and no exhaust system to service at all. Insurance tends to run higher, though often $200 to $500 more per year than a gas or hybrid equivalent. Over 10 years, an EV's total cost, factoring in incentives and home charging, often lands somewhere between $43,000 and $52,000, putting it roughly in the same range as a hybrid, sometimes slightly better, sometimes slightly worse depending on exactly which incentives you capture. So when you line all three up side by side over a 10-year ownership window, the numbers tend to cluster more closely than the online arguments suggest. Gas typically runs the highest overall at $50,000 to $58,000. Hybrid and electric often land within a few $1,000s of each other, somewhere in the mid-$40,000 to low $50,000 range, with the exact winner between those two depending heavily on your specific driving habits, charging access, and which incentives you can actually claim. Mileage is the single biggest lever in this entire comparison, more than any other factor. If you drive very little in retirement, say under 6,000 miles a year for local errands and doctor visits, the fuel savings from a hybrid or EV shrink dramatically, and the higher purchase price of either one may never fully pay itself back before you're ready to stop driving altogether. In that low-mileage scenario, a simple, reliable gas vehicle with a lower purchase price can genuinely be the smarter financial choice, since you're not driving enough to unlock the savings the other two options are built around. On the other hand, if you're the kind of retiree who's on the road 18 to 20,000 miles a year, visiting grandchildren across the state, or driving to a part-time job, both the hybrid and the EV start pulling ahead of gas quickly, often paying back their higher upfront cost within just 3 to 5 years. If any of this is helping you think through your own numbers, go ahead and subscribe, because we run these honest, no-hype comparisons regularly, and you won't want to miss the next one. Let's ground all three in one concrete side-by-side scenario, the way you'd actually experience it. Picture a retiree driving 12,000 miles a year for 10 years. The gas vehicle, purchased at $30,000, racks up roughly $13,000 in fuel and $8,000 in maintenance, landing near $51,000 total. The hybrid, purchased at $33,000, spends about $7,000 on fuel and $7,000 on maintenance, landing near $47,000 total. The EV, purchased at $46,000 but reduced to about $39,000 after incentives, spends roughly $6,000 on home charging and $2,500 on maintenance, plus an extra $3,000 in additional insurance costs over the decade, landing near $50,500 total. In this particular scenario, the hybrid actually comes out slightly ahead of both alternatives, which surprises a lot of people who assume the newest technology automatically wins. That scenario shifts, of course, if the incentives available to the EV buyer are larger, if gas prices rise faster than expected, or if the retiree drives significantly more or less than 12,000 miles a year. The point isn't that any one of these three numbers is the permanent, universal winner. It's that they're close enough to each other, in most reasonable scenarios, that the decision genuinely comes down to your own driving habits and lifestyle preferences rather than one obviously superior financial choice. Reliability and peace of mind deserve their own honest word here too, since a breakdown means something different in retirement than it did when you were younger, and could easily arrange alternate transportation. Gas vehicles have the longest track record and the widest network of mechanics who can diagnose and fix nearly any issue, often the same day, in almost any town in the country. Hybrids have now been on the road for over 2 decades, and their reliability record is excellent, with most major dealerships and many independent shops fully equipped to service them. EVs are the newest technology of the three, and while reliability has improved significantly, certain repairs, especially anything involving the battery pack or motor, may require a trip to a dealership or a specialized shop rather than your longtime local mechanic, which matters if you live somewhere rural. Charging and fueling convenience is worth weighing honestly too. Gas stations are everywhere. Refueling takes 5 minutes, and there's zero planning involved ever. Hybrids offer that same simplicity since they never need to be plugged in at all, making them arguably the lowest hassle option of the three for anyone who doesn't want to think about charging equipment or public charging stations. A full EV requires either a home charging setup, which typically costs $1,000 to $2,500 to install a Level 2 charger, or reliance on public charging infrastructure that varies enormously in reliability and cost depending on where you live. There's also a simpler category worth mentioning: the hybrid as a genuine middle path for retirees who like the idea of lower fuel costs and a smaller environmental footprint, but aren't ready for the lifestyle change that comes with plugging in every night, learning a new charging routine, or worrying about range on a road trip. For a lot of retirees, that middle path isn't a compromise. It's actually the most comfortable fit, delivering most of the savings with almost none of the adjustment. Cold weather is worth a direct comparison too, since it affects the three options very differently. A gas vehicle's performance barely changes in winter beyond slightly reduced fuel economy from engine warm-up and using the heater. A hybrid sees a modest efficiency dip in cold weather, since its electric motor contributes less at low battery temperatures. But the gas engine simply picks up the slack, so the practical impact on your daily driving is minor. A fully electric vehicle sees the steepest winter penalty of the three, with range often dropping 20 to 40% in freezing temperatures as the battery diverts energy to heat the cabin and itself. For retirees in northern climates who make regular winter trips to medical appointments or family visits, that difference is worth weighing seriously, since a hybrid delivers most of the environmental and cost benefit of an EV without that cold weather range anxiety. Financing is another quiet variable that changes based on which of the three you choose. Because gas vehicles carry the lowest purchase price, they typically come with the lowest monthly payment, which matters enormously for anyone managing a strict monthly retirement budget. Hybrids sit in the middle, with a modestly higher payment offset by immediate fuel savings that often cover much of the difference each month. EVs, even after incentives, tend to carry the highest monthly payment of the three unless you're able to pay a significant portion in cash, so it's worth running actual loan numbers rather than only comparing total 10-year costs, since a lower total cost over a decade doesn't help if the monthly payment doesn't fit today's budget. Safety technology has become fairly consistent across all three categories in recent years, which is good news. Automatic emergency braking, lane keeping assistance, and blind spot monitoring are increasingly standard across gas, hybrid, and electric vehicles alike, rather than being unique to any one category the way they once were. The bigger safety differentiator now tends to be trim level and manufacturer rather than powertrain type, so it's worth comparing the specific safety package on each vehicle you're considering rather than assuming one category automatically outperforms the others. Tire wear follows a predictable pattern across the three as well. Gas vehicles see standard wear, typically replacing tires every 45,000 to 55,000 miles. Hybrids see slightly faster wear due to added weight from the battery pack, often landing in the 35,000 to 45,000 mile range. EVs see the fastest wear of the three, both from extra weight and from instant torque, often needing replacement every 25,000 to 35,000 miles, with EV-specific tires typically carrying a modest price premium too. Family and estate considerations are worth a brief honest mention as well, since many retirees think about what happens to a vehicle after they no longer need it. A gas vehicle can be assessed by virtually any mechanic anywhere, making it simple for an adult child or grandchild to evaluate before accepting it. A hybrid is nearly as straightforward, given how established the technology has become. An EV's battery health is harder to verify without specialized diagnostic equipment, which is a minor but real consideration if you're planning to eventually hand the vehicle down within the family. Insurance is worth a direct three-way comparison too, since it's easy to overlook. Gas vehicles typically carry the lowest premiums of the three because parts are cheap and widely available, and every shop in the country knows how to work on them. Hybrids usually land close to gas vehicle premiums, sometimes just slightly higher due to the added battery and electric components. EVs tend to carry the highest premiums, both because specialized parts and labor cost more and because a damaged battery pack can sometimes total out a vehicle that would have been a routine repair on the other two. Over 10 years, that insurance gap between gas and EV can add up to $1,500 to $3,000, a real number worth folding into your comparison rather than treating insurance as an afterthought. Resale value rounds out the picture. Gas vehicles have the most predictable resale market, since buyers understand exactly what they're getting, and mechanics everywhere can verify a vehicle's condition before purchase. Hybrids have held resale value remarkably well over the past decade, often outperforming both gas and electric vehicles at trade-in time, partly because their battery technology is well proven and rarely a source of buyer anxiety. EVs remain the least predictable of the three in the resale market, with values that can swing significantly based on battery health perception and how quickly newer models with better range and technology arrive on the market. One last practical consideration worth naming plainly: how you actually plan to use the vehicle day to day matters more than any single spec sheet. A retiree who mostly drives around town for groceries, church, and the occasional doctor's visit will feel the benefits of a hybrid or EV differently than one who regularly takes long highway trips to visit out-of-state family. Short, frequent trips are exactly where hybrids post their best fuel economy numbers, often exceeding 50 miles per gallon in stop-and-go conditions. Long highway stretches tend to favor gas and hybrid vehicles slightly over EVs, since highway driving doesn't allow regenerative braking to do as much work, and any needed charging stops add time that a gas fill-up simply doesn't require. So, which one actually saves you the most in retirement? If you drive heavily and can charge at home, The electric vehicle and the hybrid are both strong financial choices, often landing close enough to each other that comfort, convenience, and peace of mind should be the tiebreaker rather than the spreadsheet alone. If you drive a moderate amount and want the lowest hassle option that still delivers real fuel savings, the hybrid is very hard to beat. And if you drive lightly or simply want the most familiar, most widely serviceable option with the lowest upfront cost, a well-chosen gas vehicle remains a perfectly sound financial decision. There's no universally right answer here, only the answer that's right for how you actually live, drive, and want to spend your retirement years behind the wheel.